Last week's impulsive beatdown of poor Roger is going to come back to haunt Jamie and Ian and Lizzie. Let's go. Outlander Season 4, Episode 10, The Deep Heart's Core. Happy 2019! It's Marcia and welcome to Really Seriously For Real. So I literally watched this episode 3 times last night, not for its cinematic excellence, but I simply couldn't sleep. Each time I made it to the end, I was trying to decide if I actually liked the episode or not. You start out with Jamie and Brianna in a heart-to-heart in the woods, where Brianna confides in Jamie how angry she is at herself for not fighting back against Bonnet. She felt she should have done more. It's just like I said in my review, there are a lot of things that could have been done differently. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Bonnet assaulted her. He is in the wrong. Jamie tried to reinforce this and prove to Brianna that sometimes he just can't fight back. He demonstrates this to her by turning on her and goading her like she welcomed the assault. I honestly thought this scene was a dream sequence, a version of Brianna's nightmare, because there was no way that Jamie would talk to her like that. Instead, it was simply a play of sorts, so Jamie could prove to Brianna how easy things could have gone much worse. Later, Brianna spoke with Claire about her options regarding her pregnancy. Have the baby, terminate the pregnancy, go through the stones, or stay. All of which would need an answer sooner rather than later. This poor girl, she has a lot on her plate. And Outlander has done well to show it. So many times in shows, if something happens to a character, it only affects them one episode. But I feel like Outlander has been very realistic in their depiction. Another thing they've done well is show how life on the ridge is going, given a satisfying montage on how each inhabitant pitches in towards the growth of their home and how happy everyone is despite some of the hardships. So, of course, you know it's only a matter of time for the rug to be yanked out from under them. One night, Brianna has a nightmare where she first imagines Roger is there with her, and then he turns into Bonnet, who tries to attack her. Brianna is jolted awake and finds Lizzie there, trying to comfort her. That's when Lizzie tells Brianna she'll never have to worry about her attacker again. This makes Brianna wonder, how would she be so certain? And then after some back and forth, Lizzie tells her what Jamie and Ian did to her quote-unquote attacker. And Brianna realizes that Lizzie is in fact talking about Roger. Oh no, Brianna goes busting into the main house to confront Jamie about his massive beatdown of Roger. Murtaugh kindly excuses himself and beckons Ian to follow, but Brianna's like, nope, Ian stays, because he also had a hand in this. Notice how Murtaugh doesn't even break his stride. He's out of there. This is where it just gets messy. Lizzie saw Roger manhandling Brianna and yanks her away to places unknown. When Brianna comes back, she clearly has been attacked. She says nothing to Lizzie, leaving her to draw on her own conclusion. Brianna assumes Roger has ran back to the stones and left her because of their ridiculous fight. Brianna keeps the knowledge of the ring to herself, and when Claire finds out, Brianna forces her not to tell anyone, citing, quote, Jamie would blame himself because he helped Bonnet escape. If he knows, he'll try to find Bonnet, and I can't let him do that. You met the man, Mama. You know what he's like. End quote. Fast forward to Lizzie spotting Roger in the woods, telling Jamie he beats him up, Ian carts him away. I mean, literally everyone had a hand in this craziness, and literally everyone meant well, which is the worst part about what happens next. Since Jamie is still confused, he lashes out at Brianna as if she wanted this attack, or maybe it wasn't an attack. I mean, talk about putting your foot in your mouth, Dad, which he promptly gets struck. Though I personally object to the statement, I seriously doubt Jamie would have said that to his daughter. Like literally at the beginning of the episode when Jamie was having the heart-to-heart with his daughter, they were connecting because, again, he was also assaulted and tortured by Blackjack Randall. and they spoke about that. They connected with that. So I feel like it's just weird writing, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I feel like it's just weird writing for Jamie to even let those words come out of his mouth. That made no sense. None at all. I was so put off by that because it just, to me, came out of left field. Again, let me know what you think. Brianna follows by throwing Frank at him, comparing their parenting skills, and finally calling Jamie a savage. Folks just love tossing that word around. That whole sequence kind of put me off, but I understand that everyone's adrenaline was elevated. Ian confessed he sold Roger to the Mohawk. He gets a bloody nose from that one. And finally, yes, there is more, the big reveal that it was actually Bonnet, which really sends Jamie down anger's path. Brianna shouts he doesn't have the right to be more angry than her. I really need to know what you all thought of the scene because I feel like everyone had a right to be angry. Yes, the unthinkable happened to Brianna, but Jamie reacted thinking that this attacker was coming back to do additional harm. Not condoning, but if Brianna thought Jamie would react heavily to learning of Bonnet, she can't possibly be surprised with this outcome. But see, this is also what happens when there are secrets. Jamie didn't tell Claire what was going on. These guys are so hard-headed. When Jamie keeps things from Claire, there's always trouble. Like, hello? Anywho, that evening, Brianna is laying down the law about how they're going to rescue poor Roger. Again, Murtaugh is just chilling out on the side like, I'm sure glad I didn't have anything to do with this. But ultimately, the plan is that Jamie, Ian, and a highly reluctant Claire will ride after Roger, even though the whole journey may take more than 4 months. If I was Claire, I'd be ticked off that I have to babysit the Roughhouse twins on the journey when I could be with my pregnant daughter picking herbs. Brianna would be escorted to Jocasta's by Murtaugh. When the ladies have left, Jamie, in all his infinite wisdom, tells Murtaugh to head to Wilmington after he drops off Brianna so he can find Bonnet. Bring him to Jamie so he can kill him. Okay, I am mystified at this point because you just got in trouble for making brash decisions here where it comes to Brianna. And now you're going to send Murtaugh off to do your dirty work. And I mean, like, last time I checked, isn't he at the Ridge laying low? And so now you're going to send him back to Wilmington? I don't know. The more and more I go through this, the more and more this episode just didn't make any sense. The decision making just didn't make any sense. I'm also like super sick right now and my head is just super cloudy. But again, I don't know. The more and more I talk it out, this episode really bothered me. The next morning, before they all went their separate ways, Ian, out of nowhere, proposes to Brianna. I'm like, you're already in trouble for selling her husband to the Mohawk. How about you just keep on task? And I guess they just about abandoned the idea of the Lizzie romance. I know in the books she's super young, but on the show they're well paired. We never even saw a reaction shot from Lizzie. When Murtaugh and Brianna make its river run, there was a sweet reunion for Jocasta and Murtaugh, as Murtaugh, of course, was in love with her sister Ellen. Then Jocasta is introduced to Brianna. Jocasta hung on the word daughter. Yeah, long story, but Brianna tells her about why she's there, even though Ulysses was holding a letter from Jamie that he didn't even get a chance to read. I also didn't understand how Ulysses could say that with certainty he recognized Jamie's handwriting on the letter. Jamie was only at River Run for a few days on the show. Jocasta accepts Brianna, giggling slightly as she touched her face. We'll have to see how this arrangement goes. It's very likely Brianna would be there for the duration of her pregnancy. Let's check in with Roger. He's basically being forced to walk all the way back to upstate New York, which is approximately 700 miles from where they are. My thighs are burning just thinking about that. At this point, it's already been about a week. Another captive had already died. So, on some hilly terrain, Roger slipped over an embankment and out of his ropes. And then he made a run for it, ultimately evading his captors. Now free, he's making his way through the woods. when you start to hear an incredible buzzing. At first I was like, wait, are you trying to tell me he was back by the ridge where Jamie took Brianna hunting for bees? Apparently no, because they reveal the massive stone formation. And Roger had a couple of gemstones. Oh boy. Earlier, before all the chaos, Brianna and Claire were talking about some of the present day things that they missed. Greasy cheeseburgers, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, of course, that was Brianna. And then my personal favorite from Claire, aspirin, just like I said in my review, and the ultimate, the flushable toilet. Yes, I am with you, ladies. And now here was Roger, who survived a stint with Bonnet, who survived a Jamie-sized beatdown, who survived a week as a prisoner. Here he was with a way back to all the comforts of home, all the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that he could eat. And he just breaks down and cries. I love it, not because he was crying, but because it is a difficult decision. And it's like, it was killing me watching him cry. I mean, it wasn't just a cry, it was a breakdown. You know, he loves Brianna, but he's also in a very difficult position right now. Think about it. He doesn't have anything. He's in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't even think or know that anyone's coming for him. So he struggles, but finally reaches his arm towards the stone. And just as he was about to touch it, credits. I don't know, guys. I didn't like it, and I didn't hate the episode. It was more of like a neutral one for me. I don't know, probably because it was just so darn frustrating. Everyone meant well, and everyone made some funky decisions, which made me frustrated. I mean, that's just it. But then I guess you need drama. If everything followed a logical step, it would be pretty dull. And then my reviews wouldn't be interesting. I don't even think this one was. And then Roger. What is with the cosmic coincidence of running into a stone portal in the middle of nowhere? Although if he did go back for Brianna, it would be much easier to go through those stones instead of the ones all the way back at Craignadoon. But then you have to wonder, where or when do these stones take you? Wouldn't it be nice if it would, like go back just a little bit in the past so that way he could not leave Brianna and everything would be all good? It kind of makes you wonder, is this a cosmic test for Roger that he's about to fail if he touches those stones? Anywho, question of the day. In the show, do you think Roger will go through the stones? Remember, the showrunners, they can do anything. Comment down below. Just 2 more episodes until the finale. Thanks so much for your continued support. We are over 3,000 subscribers and growing. So go ahead and hit that button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Until next time.